Let me tell you something strange about intelligence. Most people think smart people have better memories. They think smart people read more books, know more facts, have higher grades, or were just born different. But if you watch truly intelligent people closely, you'll notice something surprising. They don't just know more, they think differently. They approach problems differently. They react to stress differently. They make decisions differently. And the craziest part? Most of these thinking habits are simple, so simple that almost anyone could learn them, but most people never do. Today, I'm going to show you 5 small thinking habits that quietly separate the smartest people from everyone else. These habits don't require high IQ. They don't require years of education. They only require one thing: awareness. If you start using even one of these habits, you'll notice something interesting. People will start respecting your opinions more. You'll stay calm when others panic, and problems that confuse everyone else will start to look surprisingly simple. Smart people care more about understanding than winning. Here's something that happens every day. Two people disagree, maybe about politics, about money, maybe about work, and suddenly the conversation becomes a competition. Each person tries to prove the other wrong. Voices get louder. Arguments get sharper, and by the end, nobody learns anything. They just leave the conversation more frustrated than before. But intelligent people handle disagreements very differently. Their goal is not to win. Their goal is to understand. Instead of saying, "You're wrong," they ask something much more powerful. Why do you think that? Not sarcastically, not to trap the other person, but out of genuine curiosity. Because smart people know something most people forget. Every opinion has a story behind it. Someone's experiences, someone's fears, someone's beliefs. When you ask questions instead of attacking ideas, something interesting happens. People relax. They stop defending themselves, and they start explaining their thinking. That's when real conversations happen. And ironically, when people feel heard, they are more open to changing their minds. Smart people understand this psychological secret. You cannot force someone to change their opinion, but you can help them rethink it themselves. And that is far more powerful. 2. They zoom out when others zoom in. Imagine this. You make a mistake at work. Your boss criticizes you. Your mind immediately says, "I'm terrible at this." Or maybe you apply for something, a job, a school, an opportunity, and you get rejected. Suddenly your brain says, "I'm not good enough." This is how most people think. They treat single moments like permanent conclusions. One mistake becomes proof of failure. One rejection becomes proof of worthlessness. But smart people do something different. They zoom out, like a camera pulling away from a scene. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" they ask, "What pattern is happening here?" Maybe they rushed the task. Maybe they didn't prepare enough. Maybe they need to improve a specific skill. When you zoom out, problems stop feeling like disasters. They start looking like data, information, feedback. And feedback is useful. Think of life like a puzzle. Every mistake gives you another piece. The more pieces you collect, the clearer the picture becomes. But if you panic every time a piece looks strange, you'll never finish the puzzle. Smart people don't panic over pieces. They focus on the picture. 3. They protect their mental energy. Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain has limited energy every day. And most people waste it on things that change absolutely nothing. They worry about what people think of them. They worry about things that might happen next week. They worry about situations they cannot control. Weather, other people's opinions, random possibilities. By the end of the day, they feel exhausted, but nothing actually improved. Smart people follow a very simple mental rule. If they cannot influence something, they don't spend energy on it. Not because they don't care, but because worrying without control is useless. Instead, they ask one question: what can I actually do right now? If it rains tomorrow, they can bring an umbrella.
If someone dislikes them, they can still behave with integrity. If an opportunity fails, they can improve their next attempt. That's it. This small shift changes everything. Instead of draining energy through endless worry, they invest energy into action. And action is the only thing that creates progress.
4. They let silence work for them. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. If a conversation pauses for even 2 seconds, someone rushes to fill the gap. They talk quickly. They say the first thing that comes to mind. They speak simply to avoid the awkward quiet. But intelligent people treat silence differently. They use it. Think about the last time someone asked you an important question. Most people respond immediately, but smart people pause, just for a moment. They think, they organize their thoughts, and then they respond. This does 2 powerful things. First, it improves the quality of what they say. Thoughtful answers are almost always better than rushed ones. Second, silence changes how people perceive you. When someone pauses before speaking, people assume they are thinking carefully. It creates a sense of confidence, presence, control. The same thing happens when you listen fully before responding. Most people interrupt. They prepare their reply while the other person is still talking. But intelligent people actually listen. And when people feel heard, they trust you more. So the next time someone asks you something important, try something simple. Pause for 2 seconds, then answer. You might be surprised how much more powerful your words become. 5. They respond instead of reacting. This might be the most important habit of all. Most people live in reaction mode. Something annoys them, they react instantly. Someone criticizes them, they fire back. A problem appears, they panic. Their emotions drive their decisions. But intelligent people insert a tiny gap between stimulus and response. When something happens, they pause. Even if only for a second, that pause gives them control. Instead of reacting emotionally, they ask, what is the best response here? For example, if someone is rude, an emotional reaction escalates the conflict, but a calm response can completely change the situation. If something goes wrong, panic makes the problem worse, but calm thinking reveals solutions. This habit doesn't mean ignoring emotions. It means not letting emotions drive the steering wheel. Imagine 2 people facing the same stressful situation. One reacts instantly. The other pauses and thinks. Over time, their decisions lead them to completely different lives. One life shaped by impulse, the other shaped by intention. And that tiny pause is the difference. If this video made you think a little differently, then you're already on the right path. Because the goal isn't to become the smartest person in the room. The goal is simply to think better than you did yesterday. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. Every week we explore ideas that help you understand people, improve your thinking, and build a stronger mindset. Also, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 habits do you think will change your thinking the most? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And who knows, your idea might inspire the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.